Director General Zha Hyoung RHEE at International Legal Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will make welcoming remarks. Let us give him one round of applause.
His Excellency Albert Hofmann, President of the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, His Excellency Jin Hyun-baek, His Excellency Roman Kolodkin, Her Excellency Maria Teresa Infante Caffi, Her Excellency Ida Caracciolo, and His Excellency Maurice Kemji Kanga, judges of the tribunal, Professor Keungwan Lee, President of the Korean Society of International Law, distinguished panelists and participants from all over the world, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 6th International Conference on the Law of the Sea. It is indeed a great privilege for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to host the conference in cooperation with the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea and the Korean Society of International Law. I'd like to thank President Hofmann and President Lee for bringing all the renowned experts together to share their invaluable insights on the way forward for the law of the sea. I also welcome all the panelists and participants who have joined us today. As has always been the case, this year's conference is graced with the presence of many renowned scholars and experts in the law of the sea. My delight is doubled to see more than half of our distinguished foreign panelists have come to Incheon to join us in person. I would also like to thank the panelists joining us online for your admirable dedication. Distinguished participants, this year marks the 25th anniversary of the Tribunal. As the guardian of the legal of the ocean, the Tribunal has made significant achievements in elaborating the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. One of the most meaningful achievements to date is its clarification on the meaning of some very important concepts in the law of the sea, such as ship as a unit or genuine link, which had captivated inquisitive minds for decades. The Tribunal also made monumental decisions in the Bay of Bengal case, in which it provided guidance on how to delimit the continental shelf beyond 200 nautical miles, a topic that had not been explored by any judicial organ till then. Yet, I believe the greatest achievement in the Tribunal has made in the last 25 years is its contribution to establishing solid governance of the oceans by strengthening the rule of law in protecting and preserving the marine environment. Its orders and judgments related to the marine environment contained a number of phrases that resonated with those who recognize the need to take action against impending environmental crises. For example, the Tribunal emphasized in the Southern Bluefin tuna case that the parties should act with prudence and caution to ensure that effective conservation measures are taken to prevent serious harm to the marine environment. Taking a step further, it pointed out in its advisory opinion on responsibilities and obligations of states with respect to activities in the area that the precautionary approach is growing into customary international law. These examples well illustrate the expertise of the tribunal with regard to the marine environment, or in the words of President Hoffman, a seasoned adjudicatory body with ample experience in dealing with the issues concerning the marine environment. What we have to bear in mind is that none of these phrases came from the text of the UN Convention. On the contrary, the Convention barely provides any concrete measures on what state parties should do in order to preserve our marine ecosystems. It is also impossible to get any clear guidance from the Convention on whether the international community should take action against the risk of harm in the marine environment when there is no scientific evidence. Yet, the tribunal was able to deliver such progressive decisions for the marine environment without derogating from the text of the Convention. This was all possible thanks to the evolving nature of the Convention, which is often referred to as a living instrument. It incorporates the developments, as President Hoffman pointed out, in relevant norms such as international environmental law into its system, thereby enabling itself to adapt to new challenges that had scarcely been anticipated at the time of its codification. Echoing this view, Judge Vladimir Golitsyn, former president of the tribunal, commented that UNCLOS is subject to an ongoing process of change and adaptation to new challenges, and that such development is being achieved through interpretive implementation of the Convention. His comment not only clearly captures the flexible nature of the Convention, but also stresses the importance of applying evolutionary interpretation in the face of unprecedented challenges arising in the ocean. The theme of this year's conference, Law of the Sea for the Next Generation, also reflects the evolving nature of the Convention. The Convention, as Sir Michael Wood once put, is not a monument set in stone some 30 years ago. It is flexible enough to evolve in the course of addressing challenges and wield influence on how the future of the ocean will play out. The question we should raise, therefore, is whether such evolution has been a step in the right direction for promoting peaceful uses of the ocean and ensuring a healthy and resilient ocean for our future generation. And if not, how we should navigate the law of the sea regime going forward. As the main topic of our discussion, we present two major challenges that have proved and/or will prove instrumental in shaping the direction of the law of the sea regime and the future of the ocean. One is new marine technologies. New technologies, such as unmanned maritime vehicles, have opened up new ways to explore the sea and conduct maritime activities. However, their strategic implications were not fully accounted for when the state struck the deal for the Convention. And they may even shift the delicate balance between coastal states and flag states that has been achieved by the Convention. The other major challenge we'll discuss this year is environmental crisis. The world is witnessing dramatic and irreversible degradation of the environment. which also has a significant impact on the law of the sea regime. For example, global warming has shaken the very foundation of the convention, such as baselines or jurisdictional zones. While pollution from numerous sources is threatening the sustainability of the oceans and even the existence of some marine species, the convention falls short of addressing these impending issues properly. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenges we'll discuss at this year's conference are something the law of the sea regime cannot overcome in a year or two. It will be a long and arduous journey for the regime to adapt itself to the challenges and evolve into a more comprehensive one. Such process is by no means one way. The evolved regime redefines the legal characteristics of the challenges, influences the behavior of stakeholders, and changes the future of the ocean. In this context, I believe this year's conference will serve as an opportunity to garner insights on how we should envisage the future of the ocean and the law of the sea, which is, after all, the law of the sea for the next generation. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director General.